Okay, so we are live. Welcome,
Yay!
everybody. Hey,
Yay!
yay. We are going to have so much fun tonight. We are going to build out a funnel live for
Woohoo!
you. Um, Building it literally as we go. Monica's done the work and built out most of it. And so we're going to talk about a couple tweaks and a couple things that she can do. So I think this is going to be super duper helpful for everybody. And I'm really excited to dive into this. I'm just actually going to make sure that I can share this because I want everybody to pay attention to this because it's really important. We get asked questions all the time. What emails should I have in my funnel? How do I, this is the question that Monica had. How do I make sure that I integrate my old email subscribers with my new email subscribers from my, lead gen efforts, and just, specifically all around the emails, the content. How do you integrate the launch into your existing email newsletter list without seeming like you're coming out of left field, and all of that good stuff. So I'm sure a lot of the questions that you guys have right now, Monica's going to ask. So pull up a chair, grab a pen, grab a piece of paper. This is being recorded, but it is being live now. If you are watching from the Take Your Health Practice online Facebook group, please come over to the Wellness Business Hub Facebook page so I can see the comments and answer your questions and do all of that good stuff over there. So without further ado, and I feel like you almost in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory when Charlie finds the golden ticket.
Yeah.
Because you posted in the group and you followed up and you were like, hey, I know you were super busy, but can you just help me out?
Is it happening? What's happening?
Is it happening? I need you.
Yeah.
I need your brain.
Yes.
Because of the Wellness Business Academy. So we were luckily able to get our children, both of us, our children, fingers crossed they stay asleep, to be able to have this time. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and just tell everybody, who you are and what you do and who you serve, and just sort of the general idea of your launch.
Awesome. So again, thank you so much for this opportunity, this platform. And this group is amazing. Everyone is helping each other out, and I love that. So my name is Monica Tupholme. Many people know me as Moni. I am a mom. I'm 44 years old, live in the beaches. I am a former professional volleyball player. I have a degree in biochemistry, clinical nutritionist, as well as a personal trainer. And I've made this sort of switch in the last 6 months to really hone in on my niche and where my sort of passion and where my story lies. And that really lies with people with aging metabolisms. So I consider myself a performance strategist because I do work with a lot of athletic-minded people, and an educator because I do speak a lot as well on people with aging metabolisms and help them sort of re-energize, curb aches and pains, weight management, which includes weight loss. So that's sort of my target focus and my pain points. So I have right now a funnel built out, and this is where my big questions for Lori are, that I've worked on for the last probably 3 months. So I have a lead magnet right now because I did pull my existing, I had a very small existing list already that I was maybe emailing using Aweber probably once every 2 weeks. So nothing super consistent. Then 3 months ago, I said, I'm getting on this, started emailing, started building them, got the funnel going, have a lead magnet that I pulled what their pain points are and what they wanted. And it was 5 foods to boost your metabolism and lose weight naturally. It's been received very well. I'm getting pretty consistent opt-ins. Haven't used Facebook ads or any kind of supportive material like that. Started that probably about 3 weeks ago. As that, and I don't even have a website yet. I'll tell everybody. I took everyone's notice aside and said, don't build out the website. I don't have cards. I don't have anything. I literally have a Facebook page that I started 2 weeks ago. and a cover page on Squarespace that basically has my picture on it and an opt-in button right there. So I started my sales funnel, lead magnet in. I have, I blog once a week to my whole list, and I also do an email newsletter. And I also have a 10 email autoresponder already set up with Aweber that's very personal based. So a lot of stories, my pain points, sharing material that I've sort of spoke about before in the past. Like you said, sort of reusing things that I've done before just to get them to know me and get them to sort of trust me as an expert. So I have made it public that I am going to do a pre-launch on September 1st to 15th, where I've scheduled out my marketing to include a couple of Facebook Lives a week. I'm going to bump up my blogs and my e-newsletters. And then I have a launch date of September 15th to the cart closes the following Thursday. I forget the date. I think it's the 23rd. And then the Monday, I will be in that launch period, be selling I have a, what do you call it? It's like a cheap and cheerful, like $1.99 opt-in, which is a 60 whole food recipes that are vegan and gluten-free. And then the signature program that I'm going to be pushing is actually Lori's 21 day. Well, I incorporated it to be 21 days because I find that's the best for the people that I work with. The 21 day holistic weight management system. So that's in a nutshell, if that makes sense, sort of my little funnel.
I got it.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to get paper. Hold on. And write your dates down. Okay, so let's start at the beginning for people. Okay. So when we teach launching, we basically break it down, right, into the 4 phases, like prep, pre-launch, live launch, and post.
Right.
And so what you've been doing now is you've been prepping, right? So you've been prepping. So let's start from list building, and let's really break it down. So right now you have a lead magnet that you have not boosted at all or spent any money on at all with Facebook ads. No. And the lead magnet is called what again?
5 foods that boost your metabolism and lose weight naturally.
Okay. And so tell me the nurture sequence that you have with that. And is the $1.99 included in that sequence now? No. Okay. So
no,
you have,
I have 10 emails.
Okay.
That basically are like, I have the welcome email right away.
Yep.
And then I have sort of like a who am I, why do I care kind of emails. And then I've linked the next 2 email are more like resource, like, hey, I really love this story about somebody, obviously has to do with aging metabolisms, etc.
Right.
And a post that I've done to give myself a little bit of credibility. Like either like, because, like, for example, I just was published on an online magazine. So I've like sent that run out, right? Like, here's something that I've done. Awesome. Yes. And then so a resource. So something that's super fun, either like a cool new cookbook that's come out. That's the recent one that I just did.
And these are all like already scheduled automated emails. How many days apart are they?
In total, the 10 are about 40 days apart. So I go like 1, I go 1, 3, 5, 12.
Right. Okay.
Like that way.
So are you going to stop those emails as we get closer? Because my thinking is people who have opted in for this lead magnet are going to continue to get these 10 nurture emails while you're also going through the launch.
Right. So
they're going to get like loads of launch emails. Okay. So what I would do is I would actually scale back and maybe just include like how we teach, the 3 nurture emails because you're getting close to the launch period.
Okay.
Right. So what you can do is you can even go into Aweber and just pause like the last 4 or 5 so that anyone who's currently in the sequence doesn't actually get them. Right. Because, and this is more for people watching, you also send out weekly emails. Yep. So are these, let's call them like lead subscribers? Like, are they also getting your weekly emails?
The blog emails?
Or are they, Yeah, like just the general
Yes.
newsletters. So they're
I
getting the
haven't,
nurtures
I
plus.
no, I
Okay,
haven't done that. I've just put new people in through the nurture emails, and then my existing people are getting
got
blocked.
it.
So that's why my
Okay,
question was like, okay, where does this all merge into one?
totally.
Because I
Okay,
don't want to
so
oversaturate the people that I just got on my
mhm,
list, basically.
got it, got it. So basically, what I would do is I would cut back to those three, like just the three nurtures
Mm-hmm.
right now, like pause the rest of them. And then you want to do, so the cart is opening on September the 1st, like people can buy.
No, so the pre-launch is the 1st to the 15th.
Got it.
Cart open on the 15th. I left my calendar upstairs, but yeah, it's on my phone.
15th to the when?
The following, I did it for, I think just for the 7 days.
Yeah, perfect. I was going to say anything longer than that because it's a 21-day program. It's too much
Yeah.
time. So whatever that is, like the 22nd or the 23rd.
I think I did the 21st even. So cart open the 15th, closes the 20th.
It's the 21st.
Yeah.
That was really just embarrassing that I had to count that out, like with my fingers. Don't judge me. So, okay. So the pre-launch. Okay. So that's what I would do to start. I would scale back on those 10. I would start sending everyone on your list just your regular emails.
Okay.
And next week, I would start, so the pre-launch content's the 1st to the 15th. Okay. So, I mean, look, the reality is the people who have been just your like lead magnet subscribers, they don't know any different, right?
True.
They don't know any different. All they know is that every 3 days they get an email from you.
Yeah.
So if you just now, how many times a week do you typically send out content, like to your other email subscribers? Once? Yeah. So if you just do that for next week, I mean, your pre-launch is starting the week after.
Right.
So it's not like you have to let them know, right? Because they're not really paying that much attention.
Right.
They're just used to getting emails from you, which in all honesty, they will continue to because you're doing pre-launch and then you're going into a launch anyway. So they're going to get more than one email a week anyway. So to them, there's no real difference.
Right.
So with your pre-launch content, I would actually just start sending your pre-launch content on the 1st to the entire list.
To everybody.
Okay. To everybody. And like I said, just scale back like those 7 remaining emails in that nurture sequence, just pause them. And you can even use the content from those 7 emails for social media content. Like it's there. So you might as well use it.
Right.
They could be part of your Facebook Lives. You know what I mean? Like they could be just additional content that you use. And then we can talk about this after because that was also one of your questions is like, what did you do after your launch? Right? You can do it that way. So does that answer that question of like, how do you integrate your new subscribers?
It does. Okay. So then my question leading from that is, during my pre-launch, if I'm pushing opt-ins still, am I taking in that pre-launch period, like I've already paused people up to September 1st, basically. Now from September 1st to 15th, I have people opting in that kind of don't really know me. They're getting a welcome email, fine. But then do I just sort of put them right into pre-launch email mode?
Yes. So what I would do is I would, so just to rephrase, so basically from now until September 1st, you're going to have the 3 nurture emails and that's fine. As of the 1st, I would do the immediate response. And then I would do 1 day later, like if you can do a Facebook Live where you're talking about who you are and why and your passion and the problem that you solve.
Yep.
Because doing a video really builds rapport way faster. Yeah. So this way, it's like if you can do like even just go on Facebook Live for literally 5 minutes. Like who cares? It's not for viewers. No one cares. Yep. But this way, it's on your Facebook page. You can link to it and you can send them to it, right? And you can talk about in the Facebook Live, like ask maybe a question, and you can say in the Facebook Live, like reply in the comments, tell me like tell me the top symptom that you're experiencing specific to whatever the pain is that that they have. So you introduce yourself, right? You talk about your dark and then your light, like why you care about this, and like get pissed, and like you need to like show emotion and really like passion,
I could do that.
But it makes all the difference, right? Like when you're like when you're animated about something, I don't really like using the word passionate, but when you're like animated about it, people want to watch you. Like people will gravitate to you. When you have to be over the top about it, or if you're like bleh about it, then no one's paying attention to you. But if so in this next day email, so this is during pre-launch, because you're still building your list during pre-launch, right? That's when you like go balls to the wall with list building. With pre-launch, you do the immediate response, obviously, that delivers whatever the content is of the lead magnet, and introduces yourself a little bit. And then the next day, the subject line should be something like either like my embarrassing story, or the time I told, my husband to fuck off, or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like something where people are like, what? Like, I need to read this. Like, what is she talking about? Don't just be like my story. Right. So like have some type of like curiosity provoking, agitating headline. And then in that email, talk about like very personably, like one-to-one, like, hey, like, hey girlfriend, or however you like address your people. Just write as if you're talking to your best friend, and just say like, I filmed this little video for you. I hope it makes you smile. I have a question for you at the end of it. And I need you, I need you to watch this video, because my mission in life is to make sure that you don't have to struggle like I did. And so something like, so I'm giving you one secret or one tip that like totally helped me, and I think it's going to help you too. Something curiosity provoking, like something where it's like, oh, I must know this. I must know this. Right. And so if you do the one tip thing, then maybe the subject line is like, the one tip that like, transformed my metabolism or something. Whatever it is. And then talk a little bit about who you are and why you care and what you're doing and who you work with, and then share the content, and then do a call to action. So something like comment below, tag me, something. So that's what I would do for the pre-launch, and then have nothing, because you're sending out. So during your pre-launch, how many times are you emailing out?
I was going to do, well, it increased obviously to when the cart closes, but I had for that first week.
Like from the 1st to the 15th.
Right. So with the first 7 days, I had 2 emails going out, and then 2 Facebook Lives. Okay. And then then I had 3 days after. Sorry, I wish my calendar was with me. And then I think 3 days before the cart closes, it was literally like boom, boom, boom.
Okay. So if we actually look at the calendar, because I have a calendar here for September. So September 1st is a Friday. So this is pre-launch.
Just Friday. I know. It was like,
it's
Friday.
Fine. It doesn't matter. Just do it. It's fine. It doesn't matter, because honestly, this is the first time that you're launching something, and the point is just to get it done. Like that's the point, right? So that you can gather the metrics, see what worked, see what didn't work, and then do it again. Okay, so if we say this is pre-launch, so just to clarify, like pre-launch, your shopping cart to your actual program isn't closed. Open. However, you are selling something during pre-launch.
Okay.
Are you? Yes, right? That $1.99 thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest. I feel like, okay, so so let me gather my thoughts. So on the one hand, it's like proper marketing to do what's called a tripwire. And then, right, you get people to like open their wallets to you, and then it's easier to sell them something else.
Right.
On the other hand, hold on. On the other hand, if they've just bought 60 recipes, the mindset might be like, let me try these out. Right? Because you're essentially solving the same problem. Now, with a tripwire, what, the reason that it's good is because the tripwire solves a problem, but then the program solves another bigger problem.
Right.
So if you can position it that way,
right? I was
if
thinking like, here's the meals, but the feedback that I got from everybody is like, yeah, the meals are great, but I want grocery lists. I want meal plans. Like, just tell me, like, you gave me the recipes. Awesome. Now tell me what to eat and like when to eat it. And
look, you can try it.
Yeah.
You can try it. I don't know. I've never had anyone sell anything during a pre-launch. Typically what would have happened, which is my recommendation moving forward, is you would have pitched them the $1.99 in the 10 sequence nurture.
That's what the other thing I was going to ask. So would it have been better in that 10 nurture? And then they would have had time over a couple of months to be like, oh my God, she's giving me such amazing content. And then the $49.95, they'd be like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's my concern, is that like, because you're selling it, they'll feel cathartic that they just bought something and they bought the recipes. And so the question, it might even be confusing because I haven't seen your copy. So I don't know how clear it is, right? It might be confusing to them that like, well, why do they need this if they just bought that? Yeah.
And that's my hard part, is the copy.
It's like, because it's two very similar things.
Okay.
Right? So had you had, for example, if the tripwire was a high intensity workout program, right? Which is totally different than what you're about to sell them.
Yeah.
But because the recipes seem like they should even go with the program, it might be confusing to them.
Okay.
That's my initial instinct, is if you wanted to do the recipes, that should have gone on the thank you page of your opt-in. So the 5 foods for the metabolism, blah, blah, blah. And then on your thank you page, you could have filmed a little video and said like, hey, I know like you don't know what to eat. I've put something together for you. You're going to love it. It's dirt cheap. It's $1.99. You're never going to see this offer again. Like, go grab it, start making the recipes. And have that on the thank you page of the lead magnet. Mm-hmm. And then also in like the first couple of emails or the first couple of emails, the price could go up to like $9.99 or something. Right. So it's like, it's a true tripwire offer where it's like that $1.99, it's never available again.
Right.
Because it's like, how many emails are you going to send pushing them to go spend $1.99? And then a week later, you're going to send them emails to push something that's very similar, that now costs $49. Like, it just, I don't know. It makes me a little nervous, to be honest, that that's the way that you would set it up.
So not to step ahead, but what if I did the $1.99 after this launch? So getting new people coming in. So say fresh blood, lead magnet, maybe a new freebie, whatever, and then use it as the true tripwire, like you said.
Yeah, like I would scrap it for the pre-launch, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay.
I would just focus all of your time, energy, and attention on aggravating and agitating the pain point, really understanding, really talking to them, really explaining to them, like making the connections, getting them to believe like the one thing. So we can go through that, and that's like a Russell Brunson thing, but it's so great. But I would scrap the $1.99 thing. And yes, I would. So after the launch is over, when you continue to use this lead magnet, I would add the tripwire or that low barrier offer into the lead magnet at that point.
Okay.
And then if you wanted to build out like an evergreen style funnel, like if you wanted to take those 10 emails and use your actual launch emails and turn it into like a proper funnel, that would be fine. So if it was like opt-in, thank you page, $1.99 offer, 12 emails selling the $49 thing, fine. That makes sense to me. Right? Like, that makes a lot of sense. But trying to sell 2 things in a launch style just makes me nervous for, like,
No, it makes sense when you make it. Okay, totally makes sense.
Cool. Great. So I'm glad that we have hold on.
Sorry, my head's sideways, but I have my notebook here.
That's okay. I'm just continuing to check the the screen for comments. For those of you watching, if you guys have any questions, head on over to the Wellness Business Hub Facebook page, because I can't see the questions on any other page. So head on over to the Wellness Business Hub Facebook page, not the group. Come ask us your launch questions, and I will happily answer them. Okay, so that makes sense. So now let's talk about your pre-launch content. So now that we're going to remove the $1.99 offer, tell me about your pre-launch content.
So basically, I listed out objections that I felt that people would have. So money, time, like grocery shopping, whatever, everything. I just sort of brainstormed everything. Then I picked my top 4, and I said those were the ones I was going to do Facebook Lives on.
What are they?
I had time for sure, money, and accessibility, basically. So getting the groceries that they may need to get, multiple stops, that kind of thing. And I kind of pulled some people around. So I'm like, what's their pain points? Like what kind of stops them? But we can if you guys have other ideas, let me know, obviously.
I think for the pre-launch, it's really, really important to talk about fear of failure.
Okay.
And I think you also, so this is the one thing that most people forget about, is that we need to really speak about like the pain that they're currently in and moving them away from that pain. So people spend money to move out of pain before they can even comprehend like the pleasure. So if somebody's in pain, it's not realistic for them, although they can see it and they can communicate and they can desire, but it's almost like disbelief. It's like, that could never be me. Like I could never make $1 million because I'm broke right now. Right. But if I said, okay, let's just get 100 people on your email list, right? Or like, let's just take this first action. Like, you know, maybe that's like your end game, losing 20 pounds. Maybe that's your end game, but it's like, I can't lose 20 pounds. I failed 10 times already losing 20 pounds. Yeah. Like, well, can you lose 5? You know?
So I had one that was the fear of settling. So I feel specific for my niche, the very much thing is like, well, I'm supposed to be gaining weight. I'm supposed to have joint pain. I'm 45. Like, this is how it's just supposed to be. And people just accept it and settle with it. So I had that one of the pain points, like, you don't have to settle with it. Like, and then meanwhile, the media in the background saying, well, 40 is the new 30. And then you look at yourself in the mirror and you're just like, what happened?
Right. So for the majority of women, the real agitation is feeling fat. Like, it's legit feeling gross in their own bodies. And that fear of, I've tried everything. Why is this going to work for me? And, you know, the fear of failure. So I think some of your pre-launches, you need to make the connection as to, again, like whatever the symptoms aren't normal. Like, the fact that you failed before is because all of these other diets didn't address X, Y, and Z, which you address. Right? So when you address the real underlying root cause of why people can't lose weight, according to your philosophy, it takes the burden, like it's not their fault anymore, right? So if you can get them to believe that it's no longer their fault, because willpower doesn't matter if your blood sugar's messed, you know, or if you're like in pain, then your body's having an immune reaction, which is cortisol, and then you crave carbs, and it's like, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Right. So that is like what I found is like, that's the missing, like, once people can understand that, then that totally changes their mind frame of like who you are and how you're different. So in your Facebook Lives, just make sure that you're talking about their pain points. Yes, time to go grocery shopping, but ultimately that's really failure. Yeah. That's failure, right? Really, the pain point is failure, is how do I know this is going to work? How is this going to be different? Because I can't fail again. Right? So everything that you talk about in your pre-launch needs to come back to this. I've got you. You're not going to fail. We're in this together. I've got you. I understand. Like, you know, this is how it's different.
So that's like sort of the underlining theme of the say the Facebook Lives, but I touch on just something that maybe it is like meal preparation and time for it, but sort of talking about it, giving maybe a tip, a trick, a solution, and then saying, hey, I understand, like it's so easy to prep your meals on a Sunday, then when you don't do it, and then you go out and have fast food and it's like fear of failure, and then you want to start over again, and then just
try and have a personal story for each. So if you can talk about a time where you were, you know, walking in their shoes, and how, you know, you didn't, you knew you had to meal prep because you were doing so well. And then somebody invited you to a party and you're like, ugh, whatever, I just won't do it. And then you felt guilty, you ate crap. It was like a whole roller coaster again. Yeah. So like bring in those kinds of stories. So yes, the tip for sure. But really just talking about how you felt when you didn't meal prep, that's almost more important than the tip. Because they can be like, yeah, me too. Like they can totally buy into that. Versus the tip is like, great. But when somebody validates how you feel, that's everything.
And I think that's been the biggest transition for me, because I'm such a analytical fact. I feel like everybody else in the world wants that. I'm like, did you know that lettuce is 95% water? You can have lettuce. Like they don't care. And I'm learning that to be able to like to relate and share my stories. And
like women specifically just want to be heard and validated. Yeah. So if you can hear them by sharing your own story relating to the topic at hand, it will validate them. Okay. And they will buy into it because they feel heard. Right. And you're also like validating the pain, and you're showing them like, it doesn't actually have to be that hard. And sometimes you won't meal plan, and that's okay too. Right. Right. So just make sure that for your pre-launch content, I would do 2 emails a week for pre-launch. So you said 4 times, right? So it's 2 weeks, 4 times. Yeah. I would also get them really excited. So I'd be like, I've been working on this program for you because I struggled with this myself. I'm just making assumptions. I struggled with this myself. And like, you know, I put so many clients through this program. Like, and so you have to also present it as a new opportunity. Presenting this 21-day plan as a new opportunity, as a kind of weight loss, metabolism boosting thing that they've never tried before. Because before was calorie deprivation, too much cardio, detox, salad and chicken for lunch every day, you know, being really good during the week and then binging on the weekends, cheat days and all that stuff. This is different. This is literally working with your hormones. This is making sure that your satiety centers are fulfilled because you get the sweets and whatever, right? Like you have to present it as a new opportunity. This is a new way to do it that they've never tried before. And so just make sure that that's very clear, because the one thing that they need to understand is that in order for them to like, are you positioning this as weight loss? Yeah. Yeah. So in order for them to lose weight, they need to balance their blood sugar and their hormones. And the only way for them to do that right now is by taking your program. You need to get them to believe that. So you need to help them understand that the reason that they failed in the past wasn't because they were awful or they were good or bad. Like, oh, I had such a bad day today, right? Like, I'm so bad, I ate this. It wasn't because they were good or bad. It's because they actually never addressed the underlying root cause, which most diets don't, hormones and blood sugar. So you need to explain that to them, right? And that happens in the pre-launch, so that by the time you're like, and it's opening tomorrow, they're like, where do I give you the money? Versus just like, here's meal prep tips. Right. Right? Fair enough. Yeah. Because they don't care about that.
So if I do saying 2 a week Facebook Lives, I'm way more comfortable. I lean towards that because I'm comfortable with video. That's the fine. Writing part is hard for me. So, but then I have the emails supporting that. I'm just trying to think of like working out my content again.
Okay, so you do the Facebook Live.
Lives, personal stories, pain points.
And then
how
in
it's
your
different.
emails, you can actually send them to go watch the Facebook Lives. So what you
Okay.
can do, so let's say you do the Facebook Lives like Tuesday, Thursday,
Yeah.
Wednesday, Friday, you can send emails and you can basically just like give the gist of the conversation so that people who don't want to watch the
Ah,
lives don't have to. So after you've done the live, maybe go back and watch it and just be like, and just sort of like this story that you talked about, like that's what goes in the email. And
okay.
also like maybe a tip and say, and I give way more tips in this, you know, in this video that I recorded for you. Just click the link. You'll go right to it. You
I've
know, it's
noticed that in your lives actually that you've sent in emails. It's just sort of like
yeah,
little like Cole's notes.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
like shows notes almost like as if you were doing a podcast, and then
Yeah.
it'll have them go watch the Facebook lives.
Okay. So
So that's what you can do, right? I would actually maybe outline your lives and just write the emails ahead of time, and then you can go back and edit them or do them the next day, whatever.
yeah.
And that way too, you can do social media posts around the Facebook lives, right?
Right.
So like if you were to do the lives Wednesday, Friday, maybe like you know Monday and like Monday and Wednesday, an hour before, you like can post about the topic, right? So you can really structure those 2 weeks of launch content around those 4 Facebook lives. And at the same time, getting people excited and say, like, you've been working on this program, you're opening enrollment really soon, you're super excited. This is, you know, what it's going to do for you, blah, 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 like who it's for and what it's going to do. And then you'll open the cart on the 15th. So basically you'll do an email. I'm just looking at the calendar. Hold on.
So when you say who it's for and what it will do, it will do, you're focusing on those pain points and how they feel.
So basically what it's going to do is it's going to teach them a new way to basically eat so that they feel full and satisfied, that their blood sugar is balanced, and they actually can lose fat. Where they get to eat, you know, really good food and they don't feel deprived. Should actually also talk about most women dramatically undereat.
Well, that's a big, that was my big thing
Huge.
too. Like, are you eating enough? Like tons of my clients
you should talk about that.
Yeah.
I didn't for like 2 years. But anyway, that's fine. So so you can just be like, this is for you if you are, you know, what age range is it around for?
Like targeting, I said about between 35 and 55, but really it's 40 plus.
Okay.
And really
so
it's like that 42,
you.
43 when your hormones start going a little crazy and you're like body
so
shifts start
talk to
happening.
those women, like specifically talk to them and be like, I get you. Like, I made this for you. I made this for you because this is what happened to me. And there's no, you know, there's no diet in the world that's going to help you if you are not balancing your blood sugar and your hormones. Like, period.
Bottom line.
And so you need to be able to say that with like conviction. And so this is for you if you're struggling, if you woke up one day and realized, oh my God, I'm fat now. And how did that happen? You know, right? Like, oh, my pants don't fit anymore. And like you're uncomfortable in your body and you can say like, you just don't have it in you to do another diet. This is for you.
Hey, sorry, I'm mad writing.
It's okay. Just a reminder, this is being recorded.
Perfect. Go back.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so pre-launch content.
Yeah, so that's what I would do for pre-launch. And then launch is if you're going to do the 15th to the 21st. So basically you would send out an email the 15th to the 16th.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to do an early bird at all?
Yes. So I can't remember your pricing. I have to look at it, but I think it was like the 16 for the 21 day. It was like $69.99 and then early bird $49.99.
Okay. So basically, so if you're closing the cart on the 21st, that's actually 6 days. So maybe do you want to close it on the 22nd?
Sure.
and I obviously can't correctly, with my fingers even still. So I would do an email the 15th, the 16th, and then I would end the early bird on the 20th. So an email goes out the 15th, the 16th, and then one on the 19th. And then 2 or 3 on the 20th. And then 1 on the 21st. And then like 2 or 3 on the 22nd, depending on your comfort level with emails.
2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this is sales.
These are sales emails.
Okay.
So the one on the 19th is like, reminder, the discount's going away tomorrow, right? And then the ones on the 20th are like, this is your last chance to save. And then the same thing basically on the 21st is like, we're closing tomorrow. This is your last chance to sort of get in.
Okay. And do you jump right into the gun? So that 15th, 16th email, do you jump right in and like, I have something so exciting that I've been sort of talking about, and I have something to share. This is it. Like, This is an amazing opportunity. Blah, blah, blah. Like you jump right in, guns a-blaring.
Right in. Yes.
Okay.
Because if you think about it, okay, so let's think about it from the psychological perspective of the actual client, right?
Okay.
You've now just agitated a problem. You've gotten them inspired. You've excited them. Mm-hmm. You've explained to them what's wrong. Mm-hmm. You've told them how to fix it, but you haven't given them anything to actually fix it with. So they're like, oh my God, what do I do? Right? Like they're sitting there and they're waiting. If you've done your job right in pre-launch, right? Like if you've done that right and you've really hyped them up, you have to be like, it's here. The solution for you is here, because you need to really believe.
Yeah.
Right? Like I believe the academy is the solution. Like I've seen it. I believe it. I think every health practitioner needs to go through it, right? Mm-hmm. Like I can sell it because I believe in it. So I think part of the problem is that when most people are doing lives and launching, they don't like come guns blazing because they're like, is this going to work? And they're more focused on like the sales and the like whole, like, did I do this right? Is this pretty enough? Is this going to work? Versus women, I have the answer for you. You need to do this.
That's a huge takeaway right there.
So if you're not concerned with shit, am I going to make sales? Mm-hmm. Is this going to work? And you genuinely focus on those women, like genuinely, you are only there your job is to make sure that they understand that this is their only option. Right? And so if you don't worry about, am I sending too many emails? Am I not? Because it is what it is. Like, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you communicate to them that they understand that this is it. And you have to like really believe and really are like you want to shake them, like in a kind way, but like you want to shake them to be like, you don't understand. This is the only thing that's going to help you. Right. And you have to believe that. Otherwise it won't matter. Right. Yeah. Like that's the kind of conviction that you have to have about a 21-day program. Because if you don't have that, if you don't have that, why would they be excited about it?
Right. And talking from experience too. It's funny for me, like talking to other coaches and being like, well, what results did you get with your program? And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, you haven't done it like yourself? Like, you haven't done. But a lot of people haven't, right?
Right.
So quick sidebar question. What if you have guys on your list? I've had guys opt in and I'm very targeted to females, but just don't sway. Like I'm talking maybe 2 to 4%, like very small. But fine. Just keep going.
Love them up and maybe they'll buy it for their wives.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
And you know what? Maybe they just want to see what it's about. Maybe they're, not sure if they have metabolism problems. Just ignore them.
Just ignore.
Like, it's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't even worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Awesome.
good. Do you feel better?
Good. Way better.
Okay.
So we've gotten to basically like cart closing.
Yes. Okay. So cart closing, after it's all over and the cart closes, what you'll do is you'll basically take your pre-launch and your launch and just tack it on to those nurture emails. So I actually wouldn't have all 10 nurture emails like ever. It's too long unless you're going to do the offer.
Okay.
But even still, you can probably use some of those nurture emails as pre-launch content and then put them into this, because it's not a crazy offer, because it's not so expensive.
Yeah.
You can do it within like the first, I would say, like 8 to 12 emails.
Oh,
Remember,
okay.
they're opting in to find the solution, right? Like, they want to buy stuff. They just have to feel it.
Right.
Right? They're subscribing to you because they have a problem, and you're positioning this as something that will solve that problem. So if you do, after it's over, if you just make it all autoresponder, right?
Okay.
And just do it like that. And so with new people, like with people that don't have, Entreport or things like that, what I suggest is you can do 2 sales pages. So basically what you'll do is you'll make a duplicate of your current sales page. Hold on. You'll make a duplicate of your current sales page. One sales page that shows them the early bird and one sales page that shows them the regular, and just put the links in the appropriate emails, because you can't give a coupon code for Evergreen because you don't have like the fancy softwares. This is how you do it, like ghetto styles, but still totally works.
Yeah.
So in the early bird emails, you're linking to the early bird sales page. And in the regular price emails, you just link to the regular price sales page. If people are smart and they want to go back and they click on the early bird link like a month later, you've made a sale. Who cares?
Yeah, power to them.
Right?
Okay.
Like, it doesn't matter. Most people don't do that anyway, because they don't understand email marketing. Like, they don't understand how this all works. So they're like, they think they've missed it.
Right. So maybe I'm missing something. Am I not repeating the content that people have already gotten then?
So this is all new leads. So basically you're taking your lead magnet, and you're it's all new, it's leads, right? And you're repurposing the content from your launch, and you're pointing to the lead magnet when you do Facebook Lives. You're pointing to the lead magnet from Facebook ads. If you do like a live talk anywhere, you're sharing the lead magnet. So even if someone who is on your current list who opts in for it again, which totally happens, it doesn't matter. They go through the sequence again. Who cares? Like, don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. So that was going to be my question. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I've had that a couple of people. Okay.
Don't even worry about that.
Okay. So new leads, repurposing the old pre-launch, launch content within sort of an 8 to 12 email sequence, because the buy-in's kind of small.
Yeah.
And then basically that's where the residual comes in, because then within like a week or two after my launch, I'm basically
you can start making it evergreen, and that's where you can then start really tracking your metrics. Like, that's when you can really start playing with open rates and click-through rates and tweaking subject lines and tweaking your sales page and tweaking the messaging and stuff like that.
Okay. Evergreen, you've mentioned a couple times.
So evergreen is that funnel, basically. After you close the cart. Evergreen means it's not like a dated thing, meaning that like anyone can opt in and anyone can buy and anyone can go through the program at any time. Okay. Right? So basically what you'll do is you'll take your pre-launch and your launch content and you'll build out this like longer sales funnel. So like lead magnet, opt-in page with $199 offer, right? 3 or 4 nurtures. And then like the 8 to 12 emails that you have to like actually sell the thing
to the sales page with regular
like early bird, and
then regular.
Like, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. Now, what about the old people? So you have old people that didn't opt in, and then you have people that did opt in.
Your launch emails, your pre-launch and your launch emails go to your entire list.
Okay.
Everybody. Who cares if they didn't opt in or not? Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Everybody. For this round, I would say. Next time,
Yeah.
like, because they're going to be in the funnel, your generalist isn't ever going to see that offer again unless you do like a flash sale. Right? So they're not, so this is really their only opportunity right now to get that offer.
Right. Okay. Okay, that totally makes sense. And then for me, that would basically take me into like, obviously getting into like November, December juiciness.
Yeah. And then you could do
Right.
a flash sale like right after Christmas.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, cool.
You could do a flash sale after Thanksgiving. Although it's pretty close because you're Canadian, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty close to the launch. So maybe no, but you might want to then just ramp up your,
I have a lot of US opt-ins.
So you could do it after US Thanksgiving. People might buy it on your list, even if they're Canadian, who cares?
Yep.
You know, you could do it. You could do a sale then, and you can even do a sale for like, you know, Christmas, or plan a launch again for New Year's.
Right. Thoughts on double lead magnets, like double freebies, but to the same market? Like, do you stick with the same lead magnet? Does it get old? Does it get dated?
No, you can totally have like multiple lead magnets going at the same time. Totally.
And they can all filter into the same list and the same autoresponder. And that's totally cool. As long as it obviously relates to your program and it relates to
Yes, of course.
Okay.
But the immediate response of each lead magnet needs to be different so it can deliver the download content.
Right.
So basically, like, it goes opt-in. So like in my world, it goes opt-in, thank you page, immediate response as its own package. And then that person gets added to the nurture sequence.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So we have like a nurture sequence that, regardless of where they're coming in from, they get added to after they get the immediate response.
Okay.
So everybody goes through the same nurture sequence.
Right. There's no difference for me. I have it as basically they enter in their email and then they get a download now button where I just have it uploaded to Dropbox. But is it better to have it in
their email?
No, it comes up like I have it linked.
I would put it in the email because you want them to open that email. Otherwise, there's no reason for them to ever open your emails.
Because then they learn to go to their inbox and see from you. Okay, love it. That's a key takeaway too. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't want to put the download copy, like a lot of people put the download link on the thank you page. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Put it in the email. Put it in the email because then they have to go and open that email. Because also, like with spam filters and stuff like that, like if you subscribe and then don't open that first email, I'm sure something happens where it's just not good.
Yeah.
You want to train them. You want to train them to go and look for the email and open the email and click that download button, because that, you know, psychologically also does stuff. They've received something from you.
Right.
In an email.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Clarity.
This was the power hour for sure.
It was like, this is milestones for me. I'm super blessed.
Amazing.
And so grateful, because honestly, even with my greasy hair and everything, I was like, yes, let's do this.
No,
let me figure this out. I think like for me, and I think for a lot of people maybe they're doing a first launch in September, you overthink it, like you overdo it. And I think my brain just spins. I'm like, am I doing this right? Am I doing this right? And I just try to remember what you guys say all the time is just like, just get it done. Like figure it out, like get it done. It's not going to be perfect.
No, it's not going to be perfect. And I think too, like if we can all just remember that we're actually selling to people who have like a legitimate pain, like these are women who wake up every day and don't like their bodies. Like it sort of shifts that, like, okay, I'm being a bit ridiculous in the sense of like, you know, am I going to make a sale or whatever? Like the original intent was really just to help these women. So, or whoever your ideal client is. And so if you can hold that and really just really come from that place, like you will make sales. But I think, like I said before, like a lot of people get so wrapped up in, am I doing this right? Is this perfect enough? You know, like all of the ego stuff, which is totally natural and normal, you know, for a first time thing, it does actually get better because you have way more confidence in yourself. But if you can just remember that like your program works, you're very, you know, like, you know what you're talking about, and your sole mission is really just to help these women.
Right. I love it.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, thanks for volunteering. This was fun.
Thank you. I loved it. This is amazing. Thank you so much.
Well, for those of you watching, yeah, right?
Serious.
For those of you watching, I hope this was super helpful. If you are launching in September, good luck to you. Please do come join the Take Your Health Practice Online Facebook group. Tag me, let me know how it went. And we will talk to you all again real soon. Good night, everybody.
Night.
Bye.